You've heard it your whole life. Renting is throwing money away. Every month, you hand your landlord a check and you own nothing. So buying must be the smart move, always. Here's the uncomfortable truth the just buy crowd never mentions. Owning a home also throws money away. A lot of it. Every single year, a huge slice of what you pay as an owner vanishes. You never get it back, and it never becomes yours. When you actually run the math, renting and buying cost you almost the same. And which one wins isn't about the house at all. It comes down to one ratio you can calculate in about 30 seconds. Let's draw it. Here's the mistake almost everyone makes. They compare rent to a mortgage payment and say, the payments are similar, but the owner builds equity, so the owner wins. But that's not the real comparison. The real question is, for each option, how much money do you pay that you never get back? Money that doesn't become yours, doesn't turn into equity, is just gone. Economists call these your unrecoverable costs. Rent is easy. Every dollar of rent is unrecoverable. But owning has unrecoverable costs too, and they're bigger than you think. Let's do renting first, because it's simple. You pay rent. It's gone. If you pay $2,000 a month, that's $24,000 a year of pure unrecoverable cost. Zero equity. That's the whole case against renting, and it's true. Now hold that number, $24,000 a year, because here's where the just buy story falls apart. People think an owner's unrecoverable cost is zero because the mortgage builds equity. But only part of your mortgage payment builds equity. Look at what actually leaves your pocket as an owner and never comes back. First, mortgage interest. At today's rate, about 6.5%, in the early years, the large majority of your payment is pure interest to the bank. That's not equity. That's rent you pay the bank for the money. Then property taxes, roughly 1% of the home's value, every year, forever. Then maintenance, another 1% a year, because roofs, furnaces, and water heaters don't fix themselves. Add insurance, and the tens of thousands in closing costs you'll never see again. And the quiet one nobody counts. The opportunity cost of your down payment. $50,000, $100,000 frozen in the walls instead of compounding in the market. Add all of an owner's unrecoverable costs up, and researchers landed on a clean rule of thumb, the 5% rule. The money you burn every year owning a home is roughly 5% of the home's value. About 1% property tax, 1% maintenance, and 3% for the cost of your money. So take the price of the home you'd buy, multiply by 5%, and divide by 12. That's your true monthly cost of owning, the part that's just gone, like rent. A $500,000 home? 5% is $25,000 a year, about $2,083 a month you never get back. Now the whole decision becomes simple. If you can rent that same place for less than $2,083 a month, renting is cheaper and you invest the difference. If renting it costs more than that, buying is cheaper. That's it. That's the ballgame. But wait, you're thinking, the house goes up in value. That's the whole point of buying. Isn't that where the owner pulls ahead? This is the belief people bet their entire financial life on, and it's the one the data quietly destroys. Here's what almost nobody knows. Over the last century, after you strip out inflation, U.S. home prices have risen only about 0 to 1% a year. Real. Houses mostly just keep pace with the cost of everything else. The scary big numbers your parents quote. We bought for $80,000, it's worth $400 now. That's mostly inflation and decades of time, not some magic growth engine. Meanwhile, the renter who invests the difference isn't sitting still. That down payment plus the monthly gap, going into the market at around 10% a year, that compounds into real money. Now this cuts both ways, and we'll be honest. A mortgage is leverage, so in a rising market the owner's gains are amplified, and owning force saves you whether you're disciplined or not. But that's the catch. Renting only wins if you actually invest the difference. Blow it on a nicer car and lifestyle, and buying quietly wins by making you save. The house isn't the better investment. It's the better piggy bank. So look at the whole picture. Renting isn't throwing money away. Every dollar of rent is unrecoverable, yes, but so is about 5% of a home's value every year for the owner. They're two versions of the same cost. Buy when you'll stay put for at least 5 years. When a year's rent on the place is more than 5% of its price, and when you value stability over flexibility. Rent and invest the difference when rent is cheap compared to the price to buy, and when you'll actually invest it. Don't run someone else's rule, run your own. Take the price times 5% divided by 12 and compare it to the rent. The number will tell you which side you're on, tonight, before you ever call a realtor. So be honest. After seeing the real math, are you team rent or team buy? And if you're a renter, do you actually invest the difference or does it just disappear? Tell me in the comments. That second answer is the one that decides it. And if that down payment money is fighting with something else, like the debt you're still carrying, I ran the real math on which one to kill first, invest or pay it down. It's not the answer most people give. Click right here to watch it next.